Oh, I gotta take the case off. Hold on, guys. Stand back and stand by. Can you lift this up? Oh, boy. One second, guys. Don't worry about my charger. It's not going to be a long one.
Just in case you have it.
I think I got it.
Oh, sorry, baby. I just kicked Cloud.
Sorry, nobody's watching right now, so it's fine.
I just kicked Cloud. She's all over the place.
Now they're watching. We got people saying, don't do it. I know. I know, guys. I've thought about this. I've thought about this long and hard. Let me open up my laptop, guys, so we can
What have you thought
follow
about?
on with the comment. Doing this Ancestry.
Oh yeah.
You know?
See, I've been spending all my money traveling to DC and back, so I don't have money to get this Ancestry thing.
Yeah, I know. All right, guys.
¿Cómo está?
¿Cómo estás? So this article is from 2018, the 5 biggest risks of sharing your DNA with genetic testing companies. Oh boy. Privacy risks are not well understood by consumers. This should be fun. Number 1, hacking.
Wait, give people a little bit of a background because nobody on my page knows
What's
what
going
you're
on.
doing with
Oh, yeah.
the Ancestry
All right.
thing.
So guys, this wig, I'm wearing it because I was supposed to have it for Halloween. I was supposed to be Dorothy for Halloween, but due to logistical problems, I just got the wig today. So I missed Halloween by 2 months. But I figured I might as well wear it and do my best Takashi impression.
The wig's been here at my place for the last 2 months.
Right. So now I'm going to be in a wig, and the funny part is this is actually kind of some semi-serious video, so this definitely makes it less serious, my wig.
So Adam has the Ancestry, so he's gonna find out his ancestry background DNA. So I know mine,
That's
so
right.
I don't need to test mine, right? It's Polish.
That's
Polish
right.
lives matter.
So to be clear, guys, just so you guys understand the background.
We're 2 white supremacists.
Yeah,
according to Antifa.
According to Antifa.
We're 2 brown white supremacists.
Right, just like Candace Owens. Just like Ben Shapiro's a Nazi. It's all the same logic. The reason why I've thought about doing Ancestry DNA is because, as many of you already know, I was adopted at birth by a family from New York City. So unlike Tara, who was raised by her biological parents, so it's very easy for her to understand her ethnic background. I don't have that luxury. So I decided in order to start, looking a little bit into my own personal, existence, doing something like this can help me.
The meaning of life.
Help me understand exactly the meaning of life, because
What is the
I've been
meaning
having
of
an existential crisis lately. So I think this will help me solve one of my own personal mysteries, which is kind of understanding my own background, my own history, and also what percentage, Mexican I am. Because as far as I know, I'm 100% Mexican.
It's true, because like for me, celebrating the fact that I'm Polish and Filipino has made me the person who I am today. And when you know what your roots are and you are able to take pride in that helps to make you a more solid person, spiritually, physically, everything. So that's also where I get a lot of my confidence from is knowing the spirit of the Polish and Filipino people. Polish people.
Exactly. So, I'm pretty sure that I'm full Mexican, but having this confirmed will be pretty cool. Now, the second reason why I want to do this, and this is actually the more serious part, is I wanted to see if I had any known relatives, biological relatives, through this system. So, from my understanding, if I do this DNA thing, and I have other biological relatives that have done the DNA thing too through Ancestry, there's a chance that we can get a ping and a match, and then I could be put in touch with my biological family, which is pretty cool. Because then I can actually really, get to know that other side of my life, which I never knew before. So this is pretty cool.
We have people tuning in from Poland even.
Oh, we got Poland in the house.
We have
What's
Poland
up,
in the
Poland?
house.
What's up? And I'm not reading my comments. We got.
And also, BTAM Bandalil. I am Polish. I'm 50%. Cześć. Jak się masz? My last name is Szczepański.
Szczepański.
Szczepański. It means Stevenson. So I'm 50% Polish.
Awesome.
But 100% awesome.
That's right. Here, I don't have nails. Can you open this? So while we open the DNA kit for you guys, because I've never done this before, I wanted to read some of the risks. Excuse me. Now this is from CNBC. Number one risk is hacking. Obviously, this is not a risk that the genetic testing industry faces, but it's an industry that is a unique set of information about its consumers. 92 million accounts have used DNA testing services on MyHeritage, and they're worried about that being hacked. But these companies do invest in building strong data security, all that stuff. So I'm not too concerned about that. Number two, who may profit on your DNA? The answer is not you. One of the most compelling signs that consumers have a positive view of these companies is that a majority agree to let them share DNA with research partners. All these companies make it clear they will not share your DNA with any third party unless you explicitly consent to it. But at 23andMe, a vast majority of consumers opt in, more than 80%. Ancestry does not provide the opt-in percentage. So I don't think I'm going to opt in for that. I'll opt out, but who knows if it makes a difference. I don't know. Three, laws covering genetic privacy not broad enough, experts say. This is very true. It's also especially true in China. I read about China genetic testing. And basically there, the government can just completely do whatever they want, from what I understand. So that's pretty scary. Number four, law enforcement knows these companies have your DNA and they may want it. They're already asking. That's true. So it definitely puts you on the radar for law enforcement. But I'm a law-abiding citizen because I believe in law and order, so I'm not too worried about that. And number five, the company situation or privacy statement can change. Companies change, they're bought, and they can change some of their rules. So, all right, those are the risks. That's pretty cool. Now that we know what I'm kind of signing up for. Now again, until I actually mail this kit off, I'm not part of the system. I could always back out, but I think that I'm going to go through with this. Have you ever been curious about doing this?
I have been. So my mom's side is from the island of Mindanao, which is in the south of the Philippines. Mindanao is different than the rest of the dynamics of the Philippines in that it is actually part of the Muslim territory. And so in its history, it was also part of the island of Borneo. And so the kingdom of Brunei in present day, which is a small piece of Borneo, used to be a lot larger in all of Borneo and also included in the island of Mindanao and parts of Indonesia as well. So my mother's from the southern part, but actually my grandparents had moved to the island of Mindanao from the island of Cebu. So my family is also Cebuano. And then, so that's on my mother's side. And then my father's side, he's from this little village called Ozorkov, which is close to this town called Łódź, which is the second largest industrial city in Poland. And so Ozorkov is about like 30 minutes from there. I've been going to Poland and the Philippines like almost every year since I was a kid. I lived in the Philippines for 4 months last year. There I was at a boxing camp. And in Ozorkov, actually, it only recently even got a Starbucks and a McDonald's, like probably in the last like 5 years since when I was a kid. So that's how small of a village my dad had come from.
Yep, that's good background. I don't know my history at all on my Mexican side. However, my adopted family, my grandmother was Russian, and my grandfather was, this is my mom's side, was Sicilian. So my mom's side, Russian, Sicilian. And my dad's side, they have like English, German ancestry. So I guess I grew up in a typical New York family of, very diverse white people. White people could be diverse too. Big Italian culture. My mom had a very Italian maiden last name. So, and most of my family today still is Italian. So I love identifying with Italian culture. People say sometimes I talk like an Italian because I use my hands a lot. But now I feel like I talk like Trump. I feel like I talk like Trump now. I think we got a question on your end.
Who do I talk like?
What do I talk like? Someone asked what the costs are. So I'm pretty sure I paid like less than $100. I can't check right now.
You said it was like 60?
Yeah, I think it was a Christmas sale, New Year's sale. Usually I think it's like $100, 120 or something.
Adam, you speak Thai also, right?
Nit noi. That means a little bit. Ancestry costs. Yeah, I paid $59, which I think is a pretty good price. And Tara just did the privilege of opening the box for me. She did the white privilege of opening the box for me. I don't know if you guys could see it. Looks like we're being... But anyway, let's do this together. You ready? Let's move this out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm excited. This is exciting. This is a big deal, guys. Welcome to your story. Before you spit. That's literally what it says. Before you spit. Activate your kit online, by phone, or with our app first. Activating your kit with your unique code is the only way to get your DNA results. All right, so I'm going to do that. I can't do it right now, so let's do it online on my laptop. Where do I go? What's the website?
Is this like a multiple step thing? Like you're supposed to do something and then send it in and then you get the results? Or
I think
you
so.
get the results now? So
No,
this is a two-parter.
This is a two-parter.
Oh, we're going to be left in suspense, guys.
Yeah, this is just literally doing the test today. That's why I called this the unboxing of the test. And then we'll have to follow up and do a second video when I get my results. Which is pretty cool.
It's a spit. I mean, this kind of looks like a, according to the picture here, it looks like a pregnancy test.
It's kind of what it is. It's kind of what it is. We're going to find out if it's a Mexican. Right? Now, let me know in the comments, have any of you guys done the Ancestry Kit? I know that it says my account's already active. That's weird. Okay, let's try to sign in. This will be interesting. Hope no one hacked my account already. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? Okay.
Oh, am I frozen?
Activate my DNA kit. Yes. Are you frozen?
I think I might be frozen.
Just refresh that.
Okay.
Maybe it could be your. Maybe it could be your. Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So would I like to sign in as Adam Francisco? Yes, I will. How do I do this? Let's click next. Enter the 15-digit activation code. All right, guys. So there's more steps here than I thought.
My ancestry came back 100% mayonnaise.
All right, so here's the
Alex
spit
Jones.
tube. Here's the spit
I
tube
hope
right
you're the
here.
real Alex Jones. That's really cool.
Here's the spit tube, guys.
But even
right
if
here.
you're not the real Alex Jones, thanks for joining us, Alex Jones.
Yeah, the fake Alex Jones. There we go. Here it is. Here's the kit, the spit kit.
Love from England. We're drawing quite an international crowd today. That's
Very
awesome,
nice.
guys. Thanks.
Very nice. Enter the 15-digit activation code. All right, keep the people busy while I try typing this obnoxious code.
A question I got earlier was, where do I see the direction of my channel going after, so January 6th is going to be a pivotal day, and of course inauguration is going to be January 20th. So I feel like my life's been in limbo just to know what's going to be going on. But either direction that the country goes in, I mean, I am scared. Like everything that I've been studying and monitoring and observing and participating in for the last several months and everything, like everything that my dad has like kind of described his life in Soviet Poland, he sees it happening here. And, you know, we saw how in Venezuela, within years, Venezuela went from being a world superpower to being a corrupt shithole of a country now that we have refugees coming into America for. And so the direction I see, I'll continue to cover social issues. The areas that I've become most passionate about is censorship. Like just in trying to produce a channel and putting content out there, I've been in the Facebook gulags for a 60-day sentence that I can't, you know, live stream since the November 14th, since the Stop the Steal on that day. So I am very passionate about fighting censorship because, you know, it's infringing on our First Amendment rights. Now
Yep.
people think that, oh, First Amendment rights only had to do with being arrested, but no, the spirit also has to do with like media, social media, our ability to be collecting thoughts in an open forum. And when you have half of people being censored and their voices being shut down, it creates like these echo chambers, and we need to have both, you know, all sides represented. So I will be covering censorship and fighting that within the social sphere. For the last several weeks now with the election fraud going on, like transparency in election, that's still something that needs to continue going forward. So reformation on how our elections are conducted. There should be an audit. I was an auditor at a management firm for like 7 years in New York. Like we have, you know, financial audits. We should have election audits as well. So that's something I could want to continue pursuing. And then also, I'm going to be going to the Right to Life March on January 29th. So I want to become more involved with pro-life movements.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. We're going to have more on that later.
Yeah,
That's pretty
absolutely.
Cool. I was going to say one thing. Someone said I don't sound like a New Yorker. It's because I got rid of my accent. I trained myself in college to get rid of my accent. But I used to say water and God and coffee and all that stuff. But that's gone. The one thing I did want to point out was when I was signing up for my kit right now, it's interesting. It says assigned sex at birth. So they have it right here. Which if you guys live in Thailand, if you guys ever moved to Thailand, I think that they have an interesting solution. Whatever you were born at birth, that's your ID. And you can't change it. So if you're born a biological male or you're assigned a male, I don't even know what the right way to say it is now, but you decide to become, not decide to become, but you are transgender, your ID doesn't change in Thailand. It just still stays male for the rest of your life. And I find it to be very interesting. We're here in America, we're trying to cater to the 200,000 different genders that anybody, can say they are.
Say water.
Such as like a water. That's the way the New Yorkers say it.
Water.
Like a two-spirit penguin.
Water.
Like a two-spirit penguin. That's a real gender. Like no, not penguin. That I made up. Two-spirit. You could be a two-spirit gender. That's your gender. And it comes from like spirituality. That you're a two-spirit. Very interesting stuff.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm gonna put male because I was assigned male at birth, and I thought it'd be cool to read the consent form for you guys so you can see what you're signing up for. So here we go. When you sign up for AncestryDNA, this is what you're going to give to the company. Consent to collect and process your DNA. Okay, whatever. They can process your DNA to provide reports about ancestral origins in the form of an ethnicity estimate, geographical sub-region detail, migration, as well as personal insights related to ethnicity, places of origin, ancestors, blah, blah, blah. I can be invited to participate in surveys and questionnaires. That's fine. They may identify potential relatives of mine in its database. That's what I'm looking for. That's really why I'm doing this. Ancestry may use my DNA, family tree details, and other personal information to help me discover other details about my family history. Ancestry will endeavor to provide consistent quality, and they may use my DNA data to create new product features and services related to wellness and health. That's a little tricky right there, but we'll let it happen. Review and consent. All right, guys, we're digging deep. DNA sample storage is voluntary. I can activate my DNA kit and receive my results even if I do not give consent. Do I want them to store my DNA in their secure storage facility? What do you think?
I don't know. I'm now so skeptical about places that collect my information.
So, in other terms, I lost my dog Flex in February. He got bit by a tick. His DNA has been duplicated and it's been sitting in a lab since February. So I have my dog's DNA that passed away. His DNA is in a lab. Do I want mine in a lab? That's a strange...
I just had a strange thought if Flex had a vote this year.
If Flex did have a vote, he would have voted for Biden, right? Because dogs voted for Biden. It says you could always remove consent later. So maybe I should give consent?
Sure.
But then if I die tomorrow, my DNA will still be here on the planet. So the way I'll still be
true.
alive. All right.
Mike said, I'd rather have a nationwide DNA ancestry mandate than take a mandate on that COVID needle.
That's true. I'm going to say I do not give consent. You know why? Because I could always reorder the kit if it's important to me and do it again.
It's true.
So I'm going to say no consent. No consent. Participation in research. Participation is voluntary. You can activate your DNA kit and receive your results even if you do not give consent. We invite you to participate in research conducted by us and our collaborators to advance the study of genetics, genealogy, anthropology, and health. I'm going to say I do not give consent. Remember, I'm not doing this for them. I'm doing this for me. So I don't want to benefit them any more than the $60 I paid them already. Is that fair? Is that fair?
Alex Jones just said, Tara, you have been randomly selected to donate a DNA sample for our cloning research.
Exactly.
I wouldn't put it past what's going on in society, absolutely.
So here we go. We got the DNA match page. It says, when we process your DNA sample, we compare your results to other Ancestry members to see if you have any DNA in common. I can discover how I'm related, view each other's profiles, and send messages to each other. That's pretty cool. So that I'm going to click yes. Let's do that. To change my name, I'm going to just keep it as Adam Francisco. Estimate. Show my complete ethnicity. Show what we have in common. What do I... To your DNA matches. God, this is kind of crazy, guys, what they're doing. But alert to receive text updates. Yes, you guys can text me all you want. And yeah, guys, if you've done this, tell me some stories in the comments on both of our pages. Like, what were your results? Were you surprised? Were you disappointed?
You know, I had a friend that got different results from different, companies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of crazy. Okay, submit and activate. Look, guys, we're moving through this. Success. I have successfully activated my kit. Results will take 6 to 8 weeks. So part 2 is going to be...
At the new year.
It's going to be a long time from now, just so you guys are aware. We're not going to have this till 2021. All right, so now what do I do?
Adam, with that wig, you look like the mom who was mad at Miguel playing music in Coco.
Oh, Miguel. Who's
Yeah, I like Coco. It's a very beautiful movie, I
Coco
thought.
movie mom?
Yeah, you do.
I look like the mom? Images. Who's the mom? Who's the mom? The grandmother? Oh, right here. Oh, that's not, no, that's like that's a Halloween costume. That's pretty good though. So I look like a Coco character. That's pretty cool. All right, so now guys, you're gonna watch me spit on camera. This should be exciting.
So Mike's saying that you have to do a Ancestry and you'll have to do the 23andMe and at least 3 more to get an average.
Oh, really? It's like a blood pressure test. So fill the tube with saliva to the wavy black line. Holy crap.
That's a lot of saliva.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hold on. Fill the tube with
Yes.
saliva to the
Spit
wavy
on
black
camera.
line. Oh, this goes on. What does this do? How does this work?
Alex Jones is asking, what is the goal of the DNA test? Are you trying to find your parents?
I just want to see if I have any biological relatives in the system. That's part one of my, I guess, personal journey, is to go see if I have any relatives, biological brothers, sisters. I do know a few details about my biological mother. Her name was Josefina, so I know that. And she was 24 years old when she gave birth to me. And as Tara mentioned, she's doing more pro-life things in the future. I went from pro-choice to mostly pro-life. I do think that there are some situations where it's a moral gray line of whether or not abortion should be allowed, but in general, I'm pro-life these days. And I had this realization that me being adopted at birth, my biological mother had the option to abort me and she didn't. So therefore I'm here and I get to experience life and I get to enjoy life. And so I think that every baby deserves to have that opportunity in this world, because life is so precious. You exist once, I believe, for up to 80 years, and that's it. So in all the infinite years of existence, you get 80 years to enjoy this planet. And for us who are already alive, to look at cells in a woman's stomach or a fetus or a baby and say that that child doesn't deserve to be here, to me is a very morally bankrupt decision. And I think you agree with that.
I do. The reason I'm becoming even more vocal about pro-life matters, I've been raised pro-life. My views have always been for pro-life, with certain exceptions, like if the mother's life is in danger for medical purposes and everything, but not when it's a choice out of convenience for a person. And then just now observing and understanding how, like in Virginia, they were proposing, it's even past partial birth abortions, which in itself is already very cruel, but to have a child that's already born and on the table and then, to comfort it and then decide what's to be done, like how extreme left it's become, that's when I no longer can be silent and just be passive about the issues of abortion and raise in my, I might have a small voice, but to raise what awareness I can with my voice, with my platform, and also to be participating in marches and to be raising awareness that when you're looking to speak for for a person who doesn't have a voice, that's an unborn baby.
Exactly. So I think we got to protect life. I'm also very anti-death penalty. I'm against the death penalty too. I don't know how much of a punishment it is to kill somebody for a crime they committed, when it could be better to let them live out their lives and think about what they've done and maybe even get forgiveness with themselves and maybe even become a better person in, of course, the context of a prison system. But I've also seen some articles saying that a lot of people in long-term prison sentences end up adapting and having very fulfilling lives in prison. Mm-hmm. So in a lot of times it eventually stops being a punishment. And it becomes just a new life for them, which I don't know if I'm for that either. So it's tricky. All right, so let's do the spitting part. I got to spit into this tube, guys. This is going to be a lot of spit. Sorry, guys, you have to watch this, but they said they need a teaspoon. What'd they say?
No, I'm not even watching you spit, but...
Yeah, I know. There's a lot. It says no bubbles, but it's full of bubbles. What do I do here?
I mean... Maybe spit slower?
I don't know how to. I don't spit or swallow.
Spit slower. Try to make it more smooth and less bubbly.
I'm trying. I'm doing the best I can here. Oh, someone said drop them off on an island and let them try to survive. I've always thought about that as a solution, right?
Isn't that what England did to Australia?
Is that what they did?
They took the criminals, and they took them over to Australia and like dumped them there. And then
That's pretty funny.
those became the Australians, and they like nixed the Aborigines.
That's pretty funny. You know, the one thing about abortion that people need to realize is how it started. It was started by a woman named Margaret Sanger, who, if you Google her name, she's the founder of Planned Parenthood. She believed in eugenics. Mm-hmm. She wanted the undesirable populations to have fewer children.
And that's why you'll see Planned Parenthoods are concentrated in POC neighborhoods.
Exactly. And the one statistic that I look at, which is really heartbreaking, is when you look at a black pregnancy every year, there's about 900,000 black pregnancies a year. 400,000 of those end in abortions. So if you look at that, it's about a 44% abortion rate. So when a black woman is pregnant, it's almost a coin toss that baby's ever going to exist. So what it's doing is it's slowing down the population growth of the black community. So in a way,
it's a genocide.
It's genocide. It's eugenics. Margaret Sanger's goal has kind of come to fruition, which is just it's heartbreaking, because if you look at abortions within Latino communities or white communities or Asian communities, it's significantly lower. So communities like Latino communities are exploding in growth in America, whereas the black population is growing at a much slower rate. So I think Margaret Sanger, her mission has come to fruition, and it's unfortunate to me because I think what they've done, the Democrats and the left, they've convinced the women that it's their body, their choice. So when they have these abortions, they feel like it's their own will, their own doing, and like they're in control of their body. It's a very powerful feminist message for them. But ultimately, it's affecting the minority communities the most. So
the real BLM is baby lives matter.
Exactly. I mean, if you can't protect lives in the womb or the most innocent form of life, then how do you expect to protect lives that are already born? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. All right, so now I have to put this cap on, and I turn this. It's going to release some fluid. What do I do here? It's gonna... So replace the funnel. Screw it tightly. I have to do it tightly. Oh, did it do it? There we go.
Fun fact, Trump is the first sitting president to speak and attend March for Life rally.
Okay, it worked. So there was liquid up top and it went down into the tube. So I think I used enough strength. Shake the tube for at least 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Place the tube in the collection bag. So here's our collection bag. This is kind of like the COVID kit. Through CVS drive-thru, we had to do the same thing, right? With the no swab, you put it in the bag.
They collected it for me.
What do I do?
I didn't do the self one.
What's this here for?
Maybe to collect any moisture that would come out of it.
I don't know. It's strange. Doesn't say anything here on that. Seal the bag with the adhesive strip. Maybe that's a seal too?
It's adhesive?
I don't know.
Oh, wait. Does it...
This is the adhesive strip, I guess.
Whoops. Wait,
Whatever.
Don't close it until this is back in there.
Leave it.
Because maybe if it spills, like, they don't want it to get, like, moisture, or... I don't know. That's my assumption.
Okay, we'll just leave it in there. Whatever. If it came with it, we'll send it back. All right. Kit has been sealed. It comes with a prepaid box, which is really nice, I think. It's called Exempt Human Specimen. All right. And that's it, guys. That is the DNA test. That was super simple.
That'd be great if we could get Salty Cracker to be on the show.
Oh, that guy is hilarious.
He's awesome.
I think it'd be more appropriate if I was on his show, because...
I would love to be on his show, too.
Because not only is his audience so much bigger than ours, but he does a lot of cursing, and I try to keep my channel relatively curse-free, because I used to be in advertising, so I know how advertisers think, and I know the YouTube guidelines, and I want to try to stay monetized.
I mean, half my videos include fuck Antifa. So, I just stopped with trying to bleep it all out. I just let it all go.
All right, guys, so it's done. We have our sealed DNA test, and I will send this off today. The post office is open. Nope, 5 o'clock. Tomorrow. I'll drop this off tomorrow at the post office. And I think February, we should have some results, which will be interesting. So this is part one of the journey, guys, is the DNA test. The second part of the journey is my dad is going to be giving me the adoption papers, so I can actually look to see if I can contact the law firm or the lawyer or the attorney that handled the adoption. So I'm approaching this from two sides. I'm doing it from the paperwork side, and I'm doing it from the DNA side. So hopefully we'll get a match. And the cool part is, if I end up getting a match, You guys know that I'm going to be YouTubing and vlogging the entire experience for you guys, where I'll meet my biological family for the first time, and I want to share that with you guys, and obviously for myself too. But I think that'd be pretty cool. What do you think? Cool
I
idea?
think so. I got some questions for you in terms of like adoption and everything. So why did your parents decide to go for an international adoption versus one in the U.S.?
It's a good question. So my is this from one of your fans or from you?
From me.
So my parents wanted to adopt a baby because my mom was having problems getting pregnant. They looked now again. My parents are very. I would say at the time they were lower middle class, so they didn't have unlimited funds to do a domestic adoption here in America.
I heard it's very expensive to do
Yeah.
a domestic adoption. That's why a lot of families go for international adoptions because it's easier to adopt internationally than domestically. Which that's something that we need to like look into. Why is there so much red tape for adoptions, like here in the U.S.?
So it's about 40 grand to do it here in the U.S., which is a pretty penny. I mean, if you think about a human life, 40 grand for a human life, I don't know if that's a lot or little, but regardless, that's a lot of money. But if you go overseas, let's see, adoption costs Mexico, it drops to 20 grand. So automatically you're getting a 50% discount, if you want to put it that way. And then if you want to go even overseas even more, for example, let's say Cambodia. Actually, you can't adopt in Cambodia right now. Let's try India. India should cost no more than 46,000 RS. Is that rupees?
Rupees.
Rupees?
Yeah, rupees.
46,000
Indian rupees.
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 None of us have been to India yet, so.
Wow.
How much?
It costs, let's see, no more than 46,000 rupees, which is $700.
Wow.
Right. So there you go, guys. So if you adopt in the US, it's going to be 40 grand. If you go to India, it's going to be $600, $700. And if you go to Mexico, it's going to be 20 grand. So it ranges wildly. But the point is, my parents were limited in financially where they could adopt from. But also a lot of, and this is something I found out recently, a lot of the U.S. adoption agencies were religious. Mm-hmm. And so they wanted both parents to be of Catholic or Christian background, mm-hmm. or both parents to be of Jewish background. My mom's Jewish, my dad's Catholic. So they were pretty much not allowed to work with any of the religious adoption agencies, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So they had to find a place that not only was affordable, but also didn't really care about the religion of the family. It's just, are you good parents, good people, and can you afford the cost? So that's how my parents found Mexico. Plus, they looked in Central America, South America. They looked at Colombia, but there was apparently like these unique blood diseases that were existing that they didn't want to introduce into America through adopted babies at the time. So that Mexico was the solution. And as my dad says, he hit the Mexican lotto, the jackpot, because he feels like he got a good son out of it. And I think I paid my dues, financially. I did pretty well in my 20s, money-wise. So I think I made up that 20 grand they paid for me, whatever I was.
I think as like part of, the pro-life movement here in the U.S., we need to be addressing all the red tape and costs that come with just the ability to adopt.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's one thing that people don't think about. The adoptions. Here's one thing I find interesting. I purchased my dog Cloud from a pet store. I walked in and I paid the $2,000 to get Cloud. And a lot of people that I meet, they judge me for that. They go, "Oh, you didn't rescue a dog." Now look, do I think rescuing a dog is great? Of course. I think everybody should rescue a dog. I plan on doing it at some point in my life. However, I find it interesting that there's this huge adopt, don't shop movement for dogs, where people frown upon you for buying a dog. Whereas when it comes to human babies, what people adopt, it's less than 1% of people adopt. Adoption's not a big thing with humans. So in a weird way, we're valuing adopting dogs more as a society than we are adopting children. And I think that we need to, if you're going to judge someone for not rescuing a dog, then why not judge someone for not rescuing a child? To me, it's it's virtue signaling. It's moral grandstanding when people do that. The reality is, if you have the financial means to adopt a child, you should. Everybody should, in my opinion, if you have the financial means to do that. If you can afford another kid in your budget, absolutely, that should be something that everyone should consider doing. Plus, I think one of the ways to end racism in this world is not only interracial children, such as Tara, she's half Filipino, half Polish, as you guys know. Me, I'm Mexican, raised in a white household, so I'm not as interracial as she is. But I think having transracial families, kind of like Amy Comey Barrett, I think that gives everybody a different perspective, and I think that could help solve some of the racial problems in America.
I agree, because the thing is, you don't want to separate people into groups, because like fear is what breeds like often hatred, because you don't know what you don't know. So you want people to be like in close proximity, interacting with each other, getting to know each other, and then you know, when you have mixed race marriages, you have and you know, all that, it is necessary to be bridging communities and creating that family unit. So I got a couple good comments I want to read through. So adopted Rachel Crow, Faith Hill, Dante Culpepper, Dave Thomas from Wendy's, Steve Jobs.
That's awesome.
Alex Jones has said adoption of babies should be free, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's a solution right there. I mean, look, there's probably going to be some costs, like for lawyer fees or administrative fees or logistic fees, but yeah, I think adoption should be affordable for people at the end of the day. But I also think the reason why they put the barrier of entry so high is so that you've kind of proven that you really want this and that you could afford it. I think maybe that's part of why the costs are where they are. Maybe.
Innocent,
You know,
that's
it's like the
money
cover
that could
charge.
have, yeah, but like the other side of it is that's money that could be going directly to the
Of
kids.
course. All right, but let's use the club example, right? Let's
Yeah.
use a club. Let's take a nightclub.
But it makes
Let's
it
take
also
a dive
like
bar.
more elitist. Like, would you rather have a child that's sitting in an orphanage?
Right. I know.
Than
I agree. It's tough.
Than not.
But think about a dive bar versus club, right? A club charges a cover charge, $40, and then when you want to go in, you got to pay $15 a drink. So who do you attract? People that have a little bit more money. Versus a dive bar that anybody can go into for free, and then you attract, you know, the rowdy college kids. So I see both sides.
If we look at like the criteria that people are using to evaluate, like you know, you can size up a person's like income stability when it comes to salary, their home life, to ensure, because like the worst case would be like a child going to an abusive house. Nobody wants that to ever happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Agree.
Let's see. Free Canal says, I think there are people who make it harder for people to adopt. More kids without parents make more chaos and division.
Yep.
Because they didn't grow up without role models and then in the system and.
Yeah, Candace Owens talks about this a lot. You know, fatherless households are the number one indicator of bad outcomes, drugs, jail, all that stuff. So, you know, I think having two parents is important, but having a father is especially important. Because otherwise, as you said, the streets become the parent or the police become the parent, which is not good.
Yeah. Mike's saying how adoption is difficult, but we also want to make sure that children end up in loving families. There are a lot of horror stories in the Philippines where kids are used for wrong. Of course, like I don't want to even think and talk about that, but it's true. They can end up in prostitution, child trafficking, begging.
Yep.
We also are Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah, I mean, I was in Cambodia, and for those of you you've been to Cambodia.
Yep.
Yeah, when you go to Cambodia and you're in those tuk-tuks, or tuk-tuks as they say in Thailand, when you're in the tuk-tuks, you get surrounded by all these young children who basically beg you, you know, for money. And it's tough to see. I actually have some videos from Cambodia in 2016 of some of the, they were adorable, and I enjoyed interacting with them, but they're out there at 3, 4, 5 years old asking for money, which is just
when they should be in school.
Crazy. That's
why when you go to countries like Cambodia or the Philippines, and if you see children that are out begging, you shouldn't be giving them money, because it encourages them to then not be in school where they're supposed to be. It encourages them to be out there begging, and possibly, you know, the parents would then see it as an incentive to have the children go out and beg, as opposed to being in school where they need to be, because like what's actually going to break the cycle of poverty is their ability to get an education and then elevate their life afterwards.
Exactly. Any more comments from your amazing audience?
Start building InfoWars orphanages.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And then Alan Bodell has a nice comment. BLM needs to promote fathers. Yeah, this was a big thing that happened with BLM early on. If you went to their website, it said they wanted to normalize non-nuclear families, which means basically a nuclear family is mother, father, children in the household. And BLM wanted to kind of destabilize that and say, we don't need that anymore. We're past that. The reality is we're not past that. And that's a big mistake that they made. We're not past that. We need fathers in the household to be the authority for young men, to show them how to act like a man. And a lot of these kids, these teen males aren't getting that in their homes. So again, they become taught by the streets, which I don't think is a good thing either.
And also for a girl, the most her father is going to be the most important man in her life because he's going to be the one who sets the standard for what a man is to act and treat her like.
Exactly.
So she'll then be applying that to her relationships that she has. Daughters grow up to be mothers, and the cycle continues.
Exactly. Now, me personally, I've thought about this, guys, being a single father. I thought that that could be a solution for me, right? Because I look at the data, I look at the divorce rates of families, and the divorce rate's what, like 50%? So it's a coin toss whether you're going to get divorced. Now, most divorces are initiated by the women. A majority of divorces are initiated by the women. And then who's the one who ends up paying most of the divorces? The men. And then there's custody battles. Now, I'm getting to the age now, I'm 37, where I'm literally watching these things start to happen in my social network where people are getting divorced. There's custody battles. And boy, those seem like nightmares and money drains. You easily spend 50 to 100 grand on lawyer fees. And to me, that's money that you should keep in your pocket or invest in your child instead. So I just feel like if I end up being a single father, whether it's through adoption, surrogacy, or maybe co-parenting, right? It's just easier and it's cleaner and we don't have to worry about it. But the reason why I'm attracted to single parenthood is because I could raise the child the way I want to and not have to worry about someone else's input or perspective. But I also know that children are not as easy to raise as pets as dogs are. So, I know they're not as cheap because dogs are really cheap compared to humans. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm on the same page with Adam about this. Like, I'm not promoting, choosing to be a single parent over having ideal relationship of having both a mother and a father involved in a child's life. But like, I'm also in my mid-30s and everything, and I do want to have children in the future. I already looked into going into like sperm banks and everything because it's, I am being able to raise a child on my own is still an option for me and something that I'm actually looking into as well. But like I said, I'm not promoting the choosing to be a single parent over having two parents involved in the household, but it is an option.
Yep. So this guy here is very smart. He said, my divorce cost me nothing. I put everything in my parents' or sister's name. When my wife left, she got zero. So yeah, there are I guess things you can do to try to avoid getting taken to the bank during a divorce. But as I like to say, a smart man learns from his own mistakes and a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So I looked at the data of marriage, I looked at the analytics of relationships, and maybe call this pessimistic, it just seems better to just not get involved in it, in my opinion, or at least wait until you're over, like when you're older and like you actually are ready to truly settle down. Because if you're in your 20s and you got all this energy and you're all hyped up and you're horny as fuck, and you're trying to get married, I don't think it's gonna work. Like, you're too young. I got this one couple I know, she's 43. She is gorgeous. This woman is gorgeous. She is in such amazing shape. You might have seen her on my Facebook. But she's super hot, super stunning. And she was dating a younger guy in his young 20s. And he's young and he wants the freedom too. So it just, young men in their 20s, and trust me, I was just a young man. Actually, I wasn't. This was like 10 years ago, 12 years ago for me. Like, we like to chase, we like to go out. That's what we do when we're young men. So I don't know.
Free Canal says, don't get married if you don't love, and when you love, don't watch TV. Excellent advice.
I also
should never have a TV in the bedroom.
I don't have a TV in exactly. Here's good advice for the women. The first time you marry should be for money. The second time you marry should be for love. That's what a smart woman does. A smart woman gets married in her 20s for money when she's like this young little arm candy. And then she gets divorced, takes half the guy's money. And then the second time, when she has all that money coming in every month, she can marry for love the second time. That's terrible, but it's true advice.
Like, my brothers had given me that advice. They're like, what the heck? You should already be on your third divorce and very rich by now, Tara. What did you do with your 20s?
Exactly. And especially, you were a beauty queen. You were a pageant winner. You could have taken that to a multi-millionaire financial banker, gotten married in your 20s twice, and then left both marriages with just this high, monthly salary.
I was a little bit like rosy-eyed when I was in my 20s, though. I was dating for love.
But this is what happens to This is what happens to a lot of women though in their 20s is they've been told by Western society to focus on a career. So they spend their 20s trying to work and make as much money as possible. Then by the time they're 30, 35, it's like, oh shit, I actually wanted to have kids. I want to have kids. And then they look around for the men and the quality of men that want to settle down with them, not just fuck them, but settle down. Where are they? Where are the men? Well, the men are chasing the 20-year-old girls that they used to be. So it's the sick situation. Someone said Tara can still date whoever she wants. So BG called you a 10. You got a 10.
Shalom says Tara's female perfection and Adam is my future nightmares with those pigtails.
Is this better?
The same.
Oh man. All right, we'll take it off for now. I don't want to be anyone's nightmare right now.
You're in Cloud's nightmare when she sees you.
Yeah.
She's sleeping right now too.
Major Itty says never go over or near the 7-year mark. Lease you never buy outright. So that's the reality. I think a reality of life. There are a lot of relationships that go on too long. I mean, I think a lot of us have been there.
The concept or the idealized concept of marriage is for life. You have,
right.
Till death do you part. And then those who are, I know people who are extremely in love that have lost their spouses, and till death do us part doesn't even mean till one person dies. It means till both of them.
Right, exactly.
And I think that's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
That's a very rare
Right.
instance, I feel, in today's society. I mean, my parents are still together. So like if I were to be in a relationship, it'd be, of course, like my parents were my role models and everything. So my dad's top standard.
Her dad is a great guy.
My dad's my soulmate. So
yeah, that's very sweet.
People think that soulmates are based on like, finding love, romantic love in the person of the opposite sex. That's not what a soulmate is. A soulmate is your kindred spirit, somebody that, like you are destined to be with, but in a partnership. And that can be, your best friends, like my best girlfriends and my dad. My dad's my soulmate. He actually said something really, really sweet to me when he was dropping me at the airport a couple of weeks ago when I was on my way to DC. He's dropping me off, and he says to me that, when I was coming to America, I took a very long route to make it to America. I could have been smarter. I could have done this and this. It would have gotten me here sooner, and therefore I would have advanced further in my life. But I know that if anything were different, I wouldn't have met your mother and you wouldn't exist. So I'm happy with how everything happened in my past and in my life because you are everything I want in a daughter.
Yep. When I was living in Thailand, I was living amongst a lot of older people of all retirement ages. And I used to ask them at the bar, what do you regret in life? And a lot of them said, I regret being married for as long as I was. But at the same time, if I wasn't married, I never would have had my children, who I don't regret at all. So that's something. People never regret the children. Very rarely do they regret the children. But a lot of times you can pick the wrong partner in life.
Oh, this is funny. YouTube watcher. When the phrase "till death do us part" was invented, I think life expectancy was 30.
That's exactly it.
That's a very fair point. Now we're all like living to 90 years old.
That's exactly it. If you live till 30, how much do you really change that? You probably don't change that much. As soon as you develop to the person, you're dead, right? But now in this modern world, when you live to 70 on average, you're constantly evolving. You're constantly changing. You constantly have all these different phases of your life. Me and Tara, we just became YouTubers this year. This is a whole new phase of our life. Being behind a camera constantly, almost every day now. So like you have all these different phases. People change. Your goals change. Your goal last year was not to be a YouTuber.
No.
This wasn't even a thing. Me neither. But
my goal was to see as many countries.
Right, but like let's say somebody was dating you because they loved you traveling. Like you guys traveled together a lot, right? And then this year you're like, I'm gonna be a YouTuber, and now you're being seen by all these people around the world. You have fans. Mm-hmm. You have people that are they write to you all the time. Mm-hmm. Could that man who liked you because they had you for traveling
you changed.
Now it's like you're just chasing fame and clout and everyone like wants you and yours. So people change, goals change, bodies change, especially. I'm telling you could be in love with someone and then as soon as they gain 100 pounds, you tell me how attracted you are to them still. And that's not a knock on obesity. That's not what you sign up for.
Well, it depends.
It's not what you sign up for.
It depends what you're defining love as.
Love is everything, the full package.
The
Lust.
type of love that, you're talking more of like lust and chemistry. Like for me, I define love very differently. It's not in a romantic sense even for me. It's just the responsibility over another person. So that is immune to chemistry or to how you even feel. I might hate your guts, but I'm gonna give you your medicine to make sure you're okay. That to me is love and responsibility. Or if the person's sick, you know, like, or, you know, like, if I drink too much and Adam's holding my hair back, that's love.
That is love. So
he doesn't want to do that, but he will.
BG said, my daughter is my soulmate too. That's really cute. And he said, you have a great dad.
He's the
And
best.
then Alan says he'll take Tara around the world with the money he saved on his divorce.
I am an excellent tour guide. I've been to 57 countries and I've spent a lot of time in a lot of them. So I will plan everything out according to whatever budget. If we're in a backpacking budget or, you know, we're living the high life, fancy, I can accustom to, the point is just to go. The point is just to go and see everything.
Absolutely. Recall said, is that the first time I heard Adam say the F word? Yes, I don't say it too often on YouTube. I do say it in real life a lot more than I do on the internet. But yeah, you definitely heard me saying, you heard me here say today.
Shalom just said, I will offer 18 goats and 2 milk cows to Tara's father to marry. So you have to toss in a couple caribou because remember my mom's Filipino, so she needs to be included in this deal. So in the Philippines, we trade caribou and toss in a couple of chickens and you might be able to bargain with my parents.
I like that. Someone said that my results will come back as 100% MAGA. Maybe. Someone else said, so how Latino is Adam? Does he still get to hold Latinos for Trump flags? Look, if I get the DNA test back and it's like, bro, you're Native American, yeah, that's going to change. That's going to shatter my identity a little bit. So there's definitely an opportunity here, like a chance for it to happen where my entire identity is going to be shifted. I've been going by a Mexican Jew my whole life, or as I like to say, a jalapeno. What if I'm not full Mexican? Can I still say that? I don't know anymore.
I bet you're going to come back probably like part like Mayan. Like
That'd be cool.
Like a tribe in Mexico,
That'd
like
be cool.
Mayan or Aztec, like because in terms of like Mexican features and everything, your nose is
Right.
different.
Yeah, my nose. I got that big.
Yeah, your nose is different. So
Are you still allowed to make jokes anymore, like about like stereotypes? Can we still do that or not?
We can do whatever we want.
Like I'm just confused. Like, are we allowed to do that? Like, I can't say joke. I don't want to get canceled. I mean, I can't be canceled.
What's the
but
joke? Tell me, I'll say it. Why did
No. Let's not say it. It's a joke because I have a big nose, so that's why the joke's relevant. But you know, it's just it's like, can you make that joke anymore?
Yes.
I don't know if you can. I feel like even
So
comedy
I
is being
think
censored.
Yeah, comedy is being censored, which is unfortunate because like our movies and jokes of the 90s, our comedy sketches of the 90s, how they say it wouldn't fly these days, like that's horrible because when we're at a point in society that we're able to joke and all laugh together and genuinely like we're not
Exactly.
laughing at each other, but we're laughing with each other.
Intentions matter.
Intentions matter.
Exactly.
So when we're at that point in society, which I feel like we were in the
We were
90s
getting
with
there.
a lot of the comedy movies that we had.
Even 2000s, Robert Downey Jr. when he did Tropic Thunder blackface, and he was nominated for an Emmy. Like, can you do that today? Can Robert Downey Jr. do that video today? I'm not so sure. Or Dave Chappelle, can he do Clayton Bigsby today?
Oh, I'll give you guys a preview. So.
Oh God, please don't do my channel. At least if you do, don't put it up. Don't put it up. Don't make the point, okay? That's the point, Brandon. Don't. Not that thing, okay? No. Not on my. I'm gonna have to go off right if you do that.
Tell you guys to go over to mine.
Oh God. Oh boy. All right, guys. I'm gonna put this on pause this live stream because I'm not on board with this. So you're gonna have to go watch Tara's channel for this. How do I pause this? Hold on. Someone said Tara's dangerous. I don't even have. Okay, we're just gonna turn this away because Tara would. I'm just there. There are certain things Tara does that I told her like I'm not on board with. Like I get her messaging and good for her and she wants to do it, but there are certain things she does that I'm just like I'm good. So I'm gonna not. I'm not. I'm out of the frame here. This is not part of me, guys. I'm removed. I'm just gonna chill here in my wig, and she's doing something on her channel I'm not part of.
This is just a preview.
So I'm not aligned with. She's doing it as a parody of Dave Chappelle's Clayton Bigsby skit. I'm not part of that. So, what's up, guys? Yeah, you can get my digits.
This is what the leader
I'm just gonna go in another room.
This is what the leader of the
I'm out.
KKK
I'm not putting that on my channel. There's certain things that it makes you uncomfortable. That makes me uncomfortable. Even though I get it's parody, it's comedy, but you know, I gotta play it safe. So I'll stand here until she takes her silly little thing off.
Making it safe for us KKK and T-Birds.
Oh God. Oh my God. She's. Oh, Tara's unhinged. Her channel's the Polish American Brotherhood. So you guys could search Polish American Brotherhood, and you could see what she's doing there. I'm not. You know, Tara went to DC. She went to BLM Plaza and she tore down the BLM signs. And I told her, like, I don't want to be part of that. You know, I could dislike what BLM stands for in terms of the denuclearization of families, right? I could be against that, but I don't need to go as far as tearing down their signs. And the fact that Tara did that is fine, but that's her. That's not me, right? So I got to make sure that I got to make sure that there's a clear delineation between some of the stuff she does and some of the stuff I do, because we're two separate people and we have different types of, I guess, benchmarks or thresholds for, you know, what we'll do. And I try to be, as you guys know, the politically correct, kind Trump supporter, which is how I feel like I am. Whereas Tara, well, I don't think she's doing anything wrong. She definitely likes to toe the line. Is that fair?
I don't know what you're talking about, Adam.
She likes to toe the line. All right, good guys. We didn't see anything on my channel. My channel is still content friendly and brand safe. We got through it. All right. Here we go. Good job. All right, everybody. We did it. My channel is in the clear. Oh, boy. All right. Did you get any feedback for that? Alan said it wasn't that bad. It doesn't. It's still, Alan. I can't have that on my channel. That's just the bottom line.
It's the China virus.
Even though it's a parody, and in her
China
defense, I know it's a parody. She's not a bad person at all, and I'm not saying she is. It's
Kung
just,
flu.
I'm just trying to keep my channel
Kung flu.
a certain way. Someone said Tara's going full uncensored. I dig. Someone said remove the blue ribbons. You look Native American. What's wrong with looking Native American? You know, one thing I will say, the reason why I think we've set a lot of our people on our Facebook page, I'll tell you the reason why, is not only is most of our social networks liberals and Democrats, right? Most people on our personal private networks.
Yeah.
However, the fact that we are people of color that don't agree with the narrative that America is a racist country, we don't agree that white people have more privilege than people of color. We don't think that we're victims, right? We don't want to fund the police. We support our military. It threatens the narrative. And it goes, like, they want us to be like, they want us to almost act oppressed. That's what they want to see from us. Where I'm like, yes,
they're using this China virus
exactly
to oppress us.
Exactly. Look,
Kung
I was
flu and Chinese people with their ching chang chongs go back to China.
Exactly. So I was driving today, and I got a ticket because I was fixing my map so I could get to Tara's place. And I guess the sheriff saw me and he gave me a ticket. And I started thinking, can I get out of this ticket? Is there any way to get out of this ticket? So I'm sitting there. My first thought was put on my Trump hat, because that actually worked before, but I didn't put the Trump hat on this time. I just sat there. And he writes me the ticket, and I'm thinking, like, because he was a white sheriff, and I had the thought in my head, because I'm just you know, spitballing in my head. And I'm thinking, can I say to the officer, I'm a person of color and we're going through a pandemic and I'm struggling and this just feels like opportunistic by you. Could I take it that direction? But then I thought, no, I can afford the money. I can afford the ticket. And also, I don't want to put myself as deserving of special needs because of my skin color. So then I thought, I'm not even, why mention it? At the end of the day, he's an American. I'm an American. We're both Americans. He gave me a ticket for being on my phone while I was driving. I paid the ticket because I could afford it. The end.
I would
Am
be
I
like,
right?
I'm so sorry, officer.
I was looking
at my phone to get
male,
directions
female.
to this charity event that I'm going to because I'm helping the homeless and the needy and the orphanage children.
Right.
And I just needed the information on my phone. I'm so sorry about that.
So you're playing the damsel in distress. That's different than I'm talking about race, because that's what all 2020
well,
is
isn't
about.
this kind of like sexist? I mean,
but that's we already got through that argument years ago. That's the feminist movement. We're already past that. If you still want to behave that way,
well, actually, that is like anti-feminist, because the feminist would
right,
be
exactly.
The feminist would want equal treatment. Like, no, you give me that ticket because
Right.
you would have given that ticket to a man, so you give it to me too. I deserve that ticket as well.
Exactly.
No, I'm very anti-feminist. I like guys opening my door. I like guys paying for my meals when we go out to know that this is actually like a date. I like a man being a man.
See, this is my issue, and we have this debate: should men pay for the first dates in America? Here's my honest opinion.
Feminism has ruined everything.
Here's my honest opinion.
They should have stopped after the 19th Amendment. That's good.
Here's my opinion on this. The answer is yes and no. Okay, women have fought so hard to get equal pay for the same jobs, which we have in America. I don't care the gender gap; it doesn't exist. It only exists if you look at all these other factors. But the reality is, we have equal pay, same job, equal pay. So now that we have equal pay, and now that we're supposed to be equals, why do you get to pick and choose which benefits you get to retain from tradition? To me, that's not fair. However, if I'm international, if I'm in Thailand, or if I'm in Vietnam, or if I'm in Poland, for example, where they're more traditional, and they still have more traditional gender roles, in that case, I agree. I should pay for everything for two reasons. Number one, I'm in a traditional culture, and number two, I have American dollars. They have their dollars, whatever it is, pesos in Mexico, right, which are worth less. Or Filipino. So it's easier for me to make $1 than for them. Therefore, I should pay in foreign countries for those two reasons. But here in America, I don't think that men should be paying for first dates anymore. And if men do pay for first dates, unless the money just means nothing to you because you're so rich, you should not be spending a lot of money on first dates.
I agree with that. It's not a good move to spend a lot of money on a first date. I mean, like, even if you're taking a girl out for ice cream or going for a walk and a coffee and stuff like that, like, you don't need to be spending a lot of money.
Right.
Like, it's not about that when I'm saying like a guy should be paying for a first date, but like if it, you work within your means and everything. And then also from a girl's perspective, like for guys, like watch out if she's ordering the most expensive thing on the menu. She should be treating, in a sense, like your pocket the way she would treat her own pocket and stuff.
Most women don't. They don't. And now there's this whole rise of sugar baby culture, which has just really destroyed American dating. But I wrote an article, guys, a year ago called "The Rise of the Coffee Date." And if you Google "Rise of the Coffee Date," you'll find my article. It's the first one on Google results, which is pretty cool. Check it out.
Coffee dates are great first dates.
Look, the rise of the coffee date. And basically, that's the compromise I said, is like, if you're going to go on a first date, coffee's $10 total, right? If you go to Starbucks, $10 total. And if you enjoy each other's company in that hour, you can always upgrade the date to drinks or dinner or a meal. So it's a great way to like pay a smaller cover charge and then pay more based on how things are going. So that I'm cool with, the coffee date.
Because the thing is, if a guy is taking out on a first date, maybe it's a blind date, and he doesn't know you, and he's spending a lot of money, like, he doesn't know, in a sense, to invest that type of money into you, so he might just be, like, blowing it like that, but it's not an indication that you're anything special. Because for a girl, like, if a guy's throwing down a lot of money on a first date, it doesn't mean you're special. It just means he can,
right.
And he's probably looking to get laid. So,
there becomes that unspoken expectation. Check this map out. The average price of a date in the U.S. This is pre-COVID, by the way. I'm sure that the numbers have gone a little down. But the average price of a date in the U.S., look at New York.
Yeah, New York's almost $300. That makes sense. It makes sense because, like, if you're having, let's say each person has about 2 drinks. You're already at 4 drinks. At New York's probably about $15 a cocktail.
That's $60 right there.
If maybe you split an appetizer, have 2 mains, and then split a dessert. And then you have a taxi ride. Maybe like you're a gentleman and you put her in an Uber to get back to her place and stuff.
Which you usually do in New York, yep.
So it $300 easy on a date.
Yep. And the cheapest place in the country to go on a date is, the answer is South Dakota. South Dakota, the average date is $38. $38 in South Dakota. And the rest in New York is $300. Which is true. I've gone on a lot of dates in New York in my life, and I usually spend about $300 on a first date. That's usually around where it is. LA is cheaper because people don't usually drink on first dates, from what I experience, because they drive to meet.
Yeah, it's true.
So if they do drink, it's like 1 or 2 cocktails, like combined. But no one's like getting wasted on first dates in LA. Well, they do if they can walk, like if they live downtown. Not if you live on the beach and you're dating a girl in Pasadena. And then someone's got to drive 30 miles, and it's like, well, you can't really sleep over or expect that on the first date.
Yeah. I know for me, I'll get a little personal. Like my serious relationship when I was in my 20s, the first time that me and him had gone out and stuff. Like I'm a foodie. I love food, and he knows this about me. So it was restaurant week in New York. So he booked like 5 different restaurants in the month. You know, I'm tallying it up right away in my head, and I'm like, I can't fathom spending like 1,000 to 1,500 on dinner dates in a month and everything. So I made him cancel it, and I said like, pick one, maybe 2, and let's keep that. But we don't need to be going out to these nice restaurants every couple of days and everything. And for him, I knew he was trying to because like I love good food, I love fancy food, I love fine dining and everything. But at the same time, like I really liked him, I really cared about him, and like I can see, at that point when I'm already thinking that in my head, I'm like, I'd rather us travel and have experiences and trips together, so you save that money and you go and do things together, so where the money will go further. So you start planning on long term when you care about the person, not to maximize in a single like instant that you may or may not see the person again.
Exactly. Well said. By the way, can we give a shout out to the dogs real quick?
Oh, they're sleeping.
Guys, I didn't put my dogs this way, but look where they are. Look where they are.
Sleeping.
How cute is that? Raindrop. What good girls. What good girls. And anyway, guys, if you guys go to that article I just shared on the thread, The Rise of the Coffee Date, on the bottom.
Shalom says, COVID dating is cheap. You can't go out. Everything is taken with your place.
Exactly.
That's true.
If you go to the bottom of my blog post, you'll see a video of my previous dog, Raindrop and Flex, so you get to see them interact with each other. So cute. But yeah, COVID dating has been very challenging because most people are scared of COVID still. Most sheep. That's what I've learned. But anyway, yeah, that's my blog post, guys. Check it out when you guys have a chance, and let me know what you think about the blog post. If I should keep blogging, because I haven't been blogging in a while. Kind of been off that game. Do you have a website, PolishAmericanBrotherhood.com?
I do. I have PolishAmericanBrotherhood.com. There's nothing on it. But I do have like a video posted. I've been meaning to like other plans for the channel. I want to like establish a regular podcast live
here it is.
streaming. Podcast live.
Site nearly ready. What is this?
Under construction.
Wait, is this bar accurate?
No, of course not. It's just like it's for optics.
Does it actually ever move?
I can move it in the back end,
Oh,
but I chose
but
to
right now it
leave.
just stays there.
I just chose to leave it there. But other things I plan on doing with the channel, like every Monday, I want to do a Milk Bar Monday. So Milk Bar is in Poland. It's a cafeteria social gathering place that during Soviet times, it was a cheap place for people to come and get food. And so throughout Poland, there are still some historical milk bars that you can go and get cheap, good food. And so it's a social thing. So I want to implement a Milk Bar Mondays as my podcast and have, like Adam when he's available or other guests to live stream in with me. And my dad will be joining me on those also. And then also I want to do weekly newsletters. I'm going to be monitoring both Polish news and American news and synthesizing that together into like a weekly newsletter. I'd like to call that like Milk Bar Digest. I think, food digest, like basically making things into bite-sized information. So synthesizing the information to get it out there. Yeah, I do need a team, but I'm a one-man show, plus my dad. And actually my brother is an artist, so he started designing like t-shirts and slogans and everything. So we're going to be starting like a merchandise shop also because I love having, like my little saying tees. So if anything, even if I don't even sell any of these, like I at least will have my own like sayings on my shirts and stuff like that so I can stop buying them. But so my brother's designing some of that. We just bought some equipment to be doing that. So that should be coming in mid-January. So I will be launching a merchandise shop with simple things like, Mark came up with best kielbasa in town.
I like that.
Grab him by the pierogies.
That was my idea. Grab him by the pierogies. That's right.
So some fun Polish humor in there for you.
Somebody asked if we was gonna get you tequila today.
It is Tuesday, Tequila Tuesdays, right?
It is Taco Tuesday. It is Taco Tuesday today.
So on my Milk Bar Mondays, I'm going to be doing vodka. I'm not a vodka drinker. I'm a bourbon drinker. But in spirit of Polonia, I'll be testing out different vodkas for you. No zdrowia.
I think people want to see you get wasted again on my feed, where you're becoming coherent.
Well, if you do a super chat, it's per shot, right?
Oh God, yeah. If you guys do super chat, well, actually, I can't drink right now because I got to drive to Jacksonville tonight. But if you do a $10 super chat, for every $10 super chat on my channel, I will give Tara, because you have super chat yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I told you 5,000 subs.
Oh man,
They
hey guys,
changed it.
sub onto mine so I can get 5,000 subs and I can have a super chat.
So for every
also.
$10 super chat you give us, we will pour Tara a shot of tequila for the next 20 minutes. And she will have to drink them.
We don't have tequila though.
Whatever you have, and it's just, we'll get you
I'm pretty sure we cleared out the alcohol from the last
Do we
time.
have anything here? Any alcohols? Vodka?
I think we cleared out the vodka.
Okay, we got nothing. All right, next time. You know, we'll do another.
There might be wine.
We'll do another super chat, and we'll do like a $10 happy hour.
Yeah.
Where every donation will get you
fire sale
shot.
shots.
Yeah, we'll do fire sale shots. Awesome. All right. Well, I think this was.
I bring the party when I'm a little wasted, right?
Yeah, of course you do. I think this was a good live stream for you guys. We went through a lot.
Vodka.
We went through a lot today. Again, the main purpose was the Ancestry.com DNA test, which we did. And yeah, someone just subbed to you.
Yay, thank you.
Anthony Churcher said, big fan of the two of you from Nairobi, Kenya. Hoping Mike Pence does the right thing on January 6th regarding the electors. Yeah, I mean, Mike Pence could literally save the election for Trump if he wants. And honestly,
I always feel so good when we have international viewers. That's amazing that like our voices are being heard from across the globe. That's very touching.
Yeah,
Thank you for
cool.
tuning in.
Thank you. Rick G asked, he joined late. Is Adam making some type of transformation announcement today? No, this wig was from Halloween. I didn't have a chance to get it, so it was here today. I decided to wear it, and I feel like I look like Tekashi 69. You guys know who that is, right?
Shalom says that I have plenty of subs. I don't need to have 5K to enable super chat. I have to check the settings. Thank you for letting me know.
Settings.
I will check my settings for that.
Check your settings. BG said he watched a video of you and your dad making pancakes together.
Yes, yeah, Polish pancakes. My dad is an excellent cook. So when we're talking about gender roles and everything, my dad says real men do the cooking, and my dad has done all the cooking in this house. My mom's very lucky. She doesn't have to cook. If it's her turn to cook, that's when we order takeout. But my dad's an excellent cook. So other things that you'll be seeing coming to the channel, like I've been heavily focused on politics and everything, but also more on Polish culture, like going back into like the history, because we have to go back to a little basic like history lesson of Poland, Polish people's role here in America, but also Polish food. So my dad and I will be having like some cooking shows, so that way we can bring you pierogies and more detail like breakdown of how to make like Polish pancakes. He makes an excellent like Polish burger.
What was the restaurant that we went to? That Polish restaurant.
There's only one Polish restaurant here. It's over in Aloma. I'd have to double check, but it's over in Aloma. Polish sausages with onion.
How do you spell Loma?
Aloma.
Yeah, I guess I could figure that out. Anna's Polish restaurant. That's what it was. Anna's Polish restaurant. We should go back and do a live stream there.
So to you says that if we want a Polish level-headed conservative on the show, he's happy to help out. Excellent. Yeah, it would be good to have like our viewers join in. So I have to figure out. Somebody had asked me earlier about, because I'm always having technical difficulties when it comes to all of the live streaming. So I'm actually just live streaming bare basic off my phone right now, and then I have my laptop here. I've got to do a sound check to make sure that everything's okay. I can hear it through here, but we've got one microphone hooked up to the ceiling. My dad like rigged it coming down, so it's just off of the camera. And so that's the microphone I've been using as I've been going out for my interview. So that's hooked up here. So I kept it basic because like Adam came over and he's like, hey, let's live stream. So I'm like, well, I don't have time to set things up and play with OBS. So just off the phone. But I do need to learn how to do the to use OBS, so that way we can have like during live streams have guests dial in and merge that all together. And